You are listening to Proof Text, a Glossa House podcast exploring Scripture and all things related to it. New episodes are released daily. For more information, check out glossahouse.com and subscribe to our channels on Spotify and YouTube. Welcome and enjoy.
Shalom. Welcome to this week's SLA Insight. My name is Dr. Jennifer Noonan, and today I would like to do a review. I've been, over the last few episodes, talking about the many ways that output can help promote language acquisition in different ways. We've explored various ways that language output, that is speaking or writing, can contribute to language acquisition. So I'm going to do a quick review before moving on in the next few episodes to look at some specific examples of output practice and how you might incorporate output into your classroom. So the different roles of output, again, by way of review, there are direct roles and indirect roles that output plays in promoting acquisition. First, we talked about depth of learning and how output promotes depth of learning as an active or productive type of learning as opposed to passive or receptive learning. It also, relatedly, engages syntactic processing in a way that simple comprehension does not. So learners have to have a stronger grasp of the new forms before they can produce them than they would if they just had to comprehend. The second direct role that output can play is by promoting automaticity. And this is just a simple math issue where the students get more exposures and more opportunities to work with the language by producing output. A third direct benefit of output for language acquisition is providing opportunities for interaction. And again, input plus interaction seem to be the formula for meaning-based instruction, which promotes the acquisition of language and looking at innate, fast, automatic processing of language. It seems that the process and the challenge of communicating promotes acquisition, and trying to understand and be understood also provides motivation for learning. And again, as it's been said, acquisition is a byproduct of comprehension. So the three ways that output promotes or enables acquisition directly are depth of learning, automaticity, and interaction. But also, output can promote acquisition indirectly, first by providing further input. One person's output is another person's input. It also can contribute through what's called auto input. We talked about how it's like the song stuck in my head phenomenon, where the learner in their mind rehearses the form over and over and furthers their repetitions and acquisition and automaticity. And when they speak it, they are also hearing it. And when they write it, they are also reading it. And so they are giving themselves input by producing output. Another way that output promotes acquisition is by providing diagnostics. And for the student, this means noticing what they know or don't know, because it's only when they produce output that we get a window into what has actually been acquired. Once the input goes in, we don't see the process anymore until it comes out as output. And so if the student is able to produce the form, then it seems that he or she has actually acquired the form. But if they can't or can't do it correctly, then there may be further training that needs to be done. And so the student can see for themselves when that happens, oh, I don't know this form as well as I thought I did. I need to go back and review it some more. Or by reflection, it also promotes reflecting on that form as they produce it, providing consolidation and further deeper acquisition of the language. It can also promote testing hypotheses, where the student says, if I say it this way, is that the right way to do it? Will I be understood if I say it this way. And so output allows them to test hypotheses. Does the language work this way, or does it work this way? And then receiving feedback on that, whether they do or not. And similarly, the instructor can also get diagnostics from the output that the learner produces. The instructor also will gain insight from that output that's been produced. Where are the gaps? What does the learner know? What do they don't know? What kind of feedback do I need to give? What do I need to review? What do I need to reteach? And again, because that output is a window into what has actually been acquired or not in the language acquisition process. And then finally, indirectly, output can provide opportunities for corrective feedback. And in the last episode, I talked about how that feedback can provide opportunities for further input for the student, which again is essential for acquisition, but can also provide immediate and tailored feedback to a student with whom you're in conversation. And so we talked about the different types of feedback that we have at our disposal as instructors for providing feedback to the learner to let them know, well, that wasn't quite right, but here's how you do it correctly. So output then functions often, either directly or indirectly, in a refining role in the development of language proficiency. So as students are acquiring the language, once they produce output, we start seeing what they know or don't know, and it helps them then to further refine their understanding, to make it more accurate, to make it more correct, so that they further develop their language acquisition process. So that's a quick summary of the different ways that output can help promote acquisition in the context of language learning. Next week, I'm going to start into talking about different types of output activities that can be used in the classroom. So if you've bought in and said, okay, I'm ready to do output, we're going to talk about different types of output activities and provide some examples of how you can promote and encourage output in the context of your classroom. So I hope you can join me. In the meantime, have a great week.
Interested in growing your ancient language skills but not sure where to start? Glossa House can help. From illustrated readers and short stories to lexicons and grammars, Glossa House offers a variety of resources for beginning, intermediate, and experienced ancient language learners. Head to glossahouse.com today. Glossa House, language resources for the global community.